I was addicted to being on dating apps. I was on Tinder, Coffee Meets Bagel, Bumble, Hinge, whatever it was, I was on. I was there. I was searching for my alpha man. I love alpha man because I am a very feminine woman. So I was on these apps scouting out different people who I could go out on dates with, and I thought of dating as a sport. I still do. Because every time you go out on a date, it's like a game. It's like a dance, a salsa dance between you and him, between you and your personalities, to see if you guys would click, to see if you guys could last for the long term, to see if you guys would last for the short term, to see how people's personalities are and how they mesh with you. I love dating. I love going on relationship websites, watching relationship videos, just learning more about relationships with friendships, just anything. I love people, and I would read these books and go out on dates because it gave me the opportunity to practice what I just read in my book. But mind you, I was doing it because I was bored. I was bored. I'm just going to say it very plainly, very honestly. I was bored. I live in a really small town of 6,500 people. I wanted some male attention. I wanted to just go out there and feel like I was in Shanghai and go out on dates anytime that I want to. So I would use these apps to just find dudes to go out on dates with. Mind you, I'm pretty good about being on the dates and seeing like what I want. And most of my dates, I would say about 80% of my dates were really, 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 really good. And I was having a lot of fun. But with all this fun that I was having, why did I get off of Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and all of these things? It's not because I had some like big epiphany moment or some like event happen to me. It's really because I started filling my time with more things that would bring me forward in my life. I started to step into the woman who I wanted to become. I'm a boss. I'm a badass bitch. I love business. I love marketing. I love music. I just incorporated my company, Triple M Media. But anyways, I started focusing on myself. All that energy that I was putting into dating apps, I started putting that back into myself. The first thing that I did that I didn't realize helped me on my path to the woman who I'm becoming and who I want to become is making a meme page. Sounds really simple, sounds really like, oh wow, not a big deal. But it was significant because it taught me consistency. On social media, you have to post every day, multiple times a day. My meme page on Instagram showed me that consistency. I've been doing it since October 17th, 2020. I have now over 2,000 followers, really happy about that. But my system was posting 5 to 7 times a day, posting on my Instagram story 10 to 12 times a day, following a bunch of new people, unfollowing a bunch of new people, interacting with the people who followed me, a lot of different stuff. And granted, I did not want to do it every day. There were many days where I was like, F this. There were some times that I took breaks, but I kept on doing it, kept on going, kept on going, kept on going. Then later, I decided to start a podcast. It's a music marketing podcast called Path to Stardom podcast, where you can grow your fan base from 0 to 1,000 fans. And I just started that in my car. And I started it because my favorite marketer ever, Russell Brunson, was like, make a piece of content every single day for a year and see how your life would change. So I just started doing that. And to make my podcast required a good amount of energy, not a crazy amount of energy, but because I wanted to get my podcast done and that required like this amount of energy, I took that energy away from the dating apps and I put it into my podcast. And what has made me go forward? Has it been the men? Has it been them? Or has it been my podcast? It's been my podcast. My podcast even got me a job. So, I'm just really ecstatic because the more energy I put into myself, the more comes out of it. And that's also why I'm doing these YouTube videos as well, because I've seen the power of a little itty bitty seed, starting with my meme page, then my podcast, now this YouTube channel, of how it can grow. And all that started from me not focusing on men as much. So ladies, if you are trying to build yourself and look for a dude at the same time, the question is, are you actually ready? Are you ready to be the person who you say you want to be? Because it requires a lot of energy, a lot of grit, a lot of consistency. If you want to get thinner, are you ready to go to the gym every single day? I know that sounds extreme, but things happen when you're consistent every day. It's like snowball effect. Goes from small and it just builds up bigger and bigger and bigger until you see a final result, or until you just keep going on your journey. So really, not being on those apps as much has really put me in such a better place mentally, spiritually, financially, all of that, because I'm not worried about dudes. I'm not worried about them breaking my heart, about us going on dates, about what he thinks, about trying to talk to him. I'm just worried about me. And if a guy can come and fit into my life and add to my life, because that's what I noticed. If they can add to my life and they're interested in my journey and my path that I'm trying to be, all right, come along for the train, for the Sadia train. But if you're not, I really just can't use my time to put it there, because what's coming out of it? I see way more coming out of putting the energy and time into myself. So that's just some advice for the day. If you want to improve yourself and level up even more, take away the guys. Make sure that you're just focused on you. Anyways, like and subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. I'm just going to be giving advice to women, to people, to humans, because I love you guys. And thank you for watching. Appreciate y'all immensely.